up, sir? I got a pretty good build on this right now. I don't think it's gonna go all the way, but... I'm gonna be level 10 after this, so I don't particularly care if this run dies. I'm gonna have some pretty fat bonuses. They need to let you skip these cutscenes. It treats it like you've never seen it before. Now the game gets a lot worse. You get to the third level with all the spiders. Spiders consistently some of the worst enemies in any video game. Spiders are up there with bats, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an arachnophobe. They're generally really annoying to fight. Spiders and bats. Birds depends on the game. I place birds like maybe a distant third or close third. Alright, what should I get now? What's this? It's not worth it. Take that, and... These guys are stupid. They don't even move. Pacing was a lot better when the enemies, like, actually attack you. Oh, this level is just not fun. This is killing the fun of the game for me. It's all just projectile spam. It's like no one attacking melee anymore. Everything's just spam. It's starting to be less fun. Really doubling down on just things that just stand stationary and shoot. Kinda stopped being interesting. I guess I'll grab the max health. First half of the game is really fun, then you get here and it's just like, it stops being fun. These guys are just dumb. To ban bugs from video games. Always the worst enemies. It's having fun, like actually weaving through attacks. And now it's just... everything just shoots at you non-stop. And you have to go back to kill them too. Oh, these stupid spiders, man! Is there like some kind of law where every time you put a bug in a game, they have to be the most obnoxious enemies? Because it sure as hell feels like it. Really annoying how they barely stagger and they just put a bunch of crap on the ground. It's pretty dumb, actually. Very unfun to fight. Give me legendaries. He didn't have anything good. More fucking spiders. I despise spiders. Every game has to have them, though. They're always the worst enemies to fight. These ones are just particularly annoying. They don't trigger my arachnophobia, but they trigger my annoyance. This level just feels so much slower because of all the guys that just camp. You camp in like the corner and wait. Fuck off with that stupid projectile spam, please. God. The other enemies were designed pretty well, and these guys just like, no fun allowed. What's the point of these guys that just stand there? Like, give me enemies that actually attack me, not just stand in the corner and spam. No one likes that shit. This fucking spider needs to die. Always the best enemies in these games are like the ones that actually fight you. Melee. Alright, well that's an obvious take. I guess I'm gonna go for the coins. I don't think this is gonna finish. Bugs just have a history of being really obnoxious to fight for like 35 years now. This game is just continuing a legacy. They're so passive too, but they're so dangerous at the same time, which is what's odd about how they're designed. You have to kill them because otherwise they'll just camp and spam forever. I'll probably be able to do this next time though. This is gonna get me to like level 11 probably. I just feel at this point in the game you can't, like, avoid taking damage. game is not designed like, you know, Hades or Wizard of Legend, very similar action roguelikes where you can actually avoid all damage. It feels like you have to take damage. I have very little invincibility frames in this game. You have the issue of the attacks not being readable either. I can't tell what these guys are doing. It's just a mess of particle effects. They definitely could do with making this more skillful. Skillful in this game so far is just kill them before they kill you. You can't really dodge attacks. Stupid if I can get hit during that too. Long animation with no cancel point. Still get hit. I lost like half my health. Because most of the attacks were like borderline unavoidable. Alright. I can't get anything from here. We'll see how much much more tolerable this gets when I get back to town after this run dies. I have a lot of gold, so I can probably grab almost everything off the bat. I think the only good spider in video games is the Manhunter, Tokiden. That was like a not annoying spider to fight. This on the easy mode too, and you're seeing like how much damage I'm taking, and there's like very little I can do about it. That was the problem I had with Skull as well. It was ironically published by the same company. I like my roguelikes to be a little bit more skill-based. This game, it feels like you really need to get a good build. Realistically, you're not going to be able to dodge all this stuff. Please don't spawn any more of them. What is the game designer's obsession with spiders? Fucking hate them. I hate them in real life too. I can't stand them. They scare the shit out of me. I have to put them in every game, and they're always the worst enemy. This run's not gonna finish. This game's kind of whack, really. You can't dodge a lot of that stuff. Like, the screen is just full of crap, and you can't dodge any of it. I don't understand how you're not supposed to play this on the easy mode. I'm genuinely curious how they expect you to do this without grinding. It doesn't feel balanced like Hades did. I didn't like Hades that much either, but you know, with that game, it was actually balanced. You could finish it on the first run without any upgrades. Here, it feels like you really need to grind. My progression seems like it's pretty well balanced, but the game doesn't seem as skill-based as it looks, at least how they were advertising it. like this better than Hades, though. Hades was kind of like, really kind of annoying to do all this stuff. Here's just get items and you're done with it. Obviously, this game doesn't really focus on narrative like Hades does, but I definitely appreciate this. Hopefully they'll balance this game out so it's a little bit more skill-based. It really does feel like everything is dependent on your build. The first half of the game feels way better balanced than the second half. But that's pretty common with roguelikes that don't have all the content in right away. Generally, the later half is usually really shitty to play, and it takes them a while to actually put it in line. First half of the game is fine. There's still a problem with, like, readability, but due to how the enemies attack, most of them being melee, and even the ranged ones are still, like, they're usually on screen, you can see them. It works, but that third level just feels like a mess of bad game design. You can barely see what they're doing, for one, but then you're getting bombarded by projectiles from all over the place, and your character doesn't really have anything to really deal with it. If you try to dash, you're just going to land into another projectile. But that's kind of what happens when you make a game focused on melee combat, and you just add a bunch of enemies that just shoot you. Generally, that's usually what happens. Rogue Legacy 2, that game feels like it balanced that kind of thing a lot better. Mostly because you have a lot of control over the character in that game. There definitely are some bullshit situations where it feels like you can't, like, not take damage, but it's a lot less in that game. The combat in Blade Assault is definitely a lot faster, but it doesn't feel as polished. Rogue Legacy 2, the combat's, like, not special, but what's special about that game in comparison is being a competing action roguelike is that you do have, like, really good control over the character. Having the build variety and stuff is really cool in that game too. In Blade Assault, it kind of feels like Hades, but Hades is much better balanced. I mean, there's people that speedrun beating it on the first life without ever going back to town. I don't think you could really do that in Blade Assault, not the way it is right now. It feels like they're really reinforcing you grinding, which would be fine if it felt like you had a little bit more control over what's going on. It's not the first game I've played that has that kind of jank design, and it won't be the last. I think I might just wait on that game. It feels like it stops being fun in the second half. There's definitely lots of games that feel like that, but it's kind of a problem when it's a roguelike. Right now, they don't have any kind of path system or anything. This game definitely nails the having control over what you're doing. That's for sure. The dash just has a ton of recovery. And when you're bombarded by projectiles like that, it feels like it's just insurmountable to get through it. Healing is not very common in that game either. It's not like one of those roguelikes where you can consistently heal like this. This game definitely gives you some bullshit too, but you're playing good enough, you can get around it. You might have to farm a little bit and rely on some health drops, but think there's just like some law where whenever you put bugs in a video game, they need to be the most obnoxious, intolerable enemy. How long I've been playing games, I've noticed that pattern. They usually really are the worst enemies. Whether you have a fear of them, a phobia of them or not. Generally. They're the enemies you hate fighting. Usually that and like flying enemies. Then you have games like Assault Spy where they let you just teleport kick over to them and kill them. Assault Spy is a pretty rare exception to that rule. Yeah, I think the first half of that game I was just playing feels really good, but then it just kind of falls apart past that point. I don't really feel like banging my head against the wall against something that's not that fun right now. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Keep in mind that was with the easy mode too. That was with the easy mode on, which cut the damage reduction by half. Some of those rooms, it was taking off like half my health bar of like very little fault of my own. That's the kind of shit you need to iron out when you're making an action roguelike. If you want people to play through the same 40-minute game over and over, you need to really make sure that it feels like, at least most of the time, when you take damage or die, that it's your fault. Because when it feels like it's the game's fault, not yours, that's generally when the game stops being fun to play and you don't want to play it anymore. And for something that's designed around replayability, that's a pretty massive problem. I don't really think that highly of Hades, because I just don't think the combat in that game has much going for it, but that game's pretty impeccably designed. I mean, it says a lot that you can finish it without any grinding at all. You would expect in a game like that they're going to force you to grind. You're going to hit hard progression walls where you can't get through regardless of your skill level. I know, combat-wise, Hades didn't grab me, but I definitely do accept that it's a very well-designed game and it's deserving of all the praise. It's just mechanically it's not a very interesting game. But that's part of why it's so popular, too. You don't need, like, an encyclopedic knowledge of it and hardcore gamer skills to get through it. That definitely goes a long way, obviously. The accessibility of that game is really good. going the wrong way? I'm so confused right now. That level chunk is terrible. It makes it too easy to get lost. I think I am going the wrong way. I think Assault Spy wins the award for least annoying flying enemies, because both characters in the game can just teleport up to them. And the way the enemies are designed in that game, where they're all projectile spammers, but you're given tools to deal with it. And they can't really do anything to you up close. I definitely won't say that game has the best enemies in the character action game, but they serve their purpose quite well, and it's interesting how they managed to create an almost completely exclusive projectile spammer roster and have them not feel unfair or annoying. He really did his research. It's like, okay, you can have these kinds of enemies in a game, but the character needs tools to deal with them. It's when you don't have those tools that it starts to feel really bad. An Assault Spy, it's like, oh, just teleport kick over there. Just delete their health bar. Very interestingly designed that game is. They managed to do the impossible. Make it feel like you actually have control over projectile spam enemies. Quite the feat. As long as I've been gaming, I've never really played a game like that. I need to farm some health. No chests over here. feel like Assault Spy's enemies in like any other game would be the worst thing ever. Playing those with like fighting those enemies with like any other action game character's tools, outside of like maybe Dante and Nero maybe could take it. Anybody else? Nope. This is a problem. Fuck that. Been no shop at all this run. As long as I can get to the end of the level, I'll have a lot for health machines. It's a really weird run. This really hasn't given me much of anything. Weird seed. At least I've got some early access games to play now. I have this and Blade Assault. There's Lost Epic. A couple others actually. Lots of games to play. They'll have updates. I don't think I have anything else to play until September. Rise. The damage is a must. I need to take that. Try to get some good armor. Alright. I'm gonna take the stats and the iframes. I think that's like the best things in here. I wish I could afford that armor up, but I think that should be good. like 9 attack power right now, which with this weapon's going to be a lot. About that damage. Wow. I think this weapon is really, really intelligently balanced, too. Because you're going to get hit, but if you charge it up enough, it does a lot of damage. It doesn't have a good hitbox, either. You kind of sacrifice having a generous hitbox for the damage. These are some nasty chunks. I think I'm just gonna skip most of the stuff in here. Try to keep the health up. My game telepragged. Wow, this is a terrible chunk. I'm gonna damage boost through here. I don't want to go through that down there. Probably some health down there, but probably not more than I'd already lose. I don't know if it's going to give me a health machine or not. This run gave me like nothing at the start. Now it's giving me a really good build. Ah, nice skip. Clean level. That went pretty well. I don't think anything here is really going to help at this point. Take more damage. Bird's going to get punched pretty hard. GG. That was a fun run. Very polarizing at the start. It almost died, but came back pretty good. GG. Still under 25 minutes. Not bad. That was a fun seed. I want to get better with the Grandmaster. It doesn't give it to me that often, though. That was fun. It's kind of interesting going from Blade Assault to this. But to be fair, I think the people making Blade Assault, it's like their first game. And making your first game be an action roguelike is it can't be easy. I'm sure they'll get it to a good spot eventually. It just kind of stops being fun past a point. But there's supposed to be like 3 other playable characters and shit, so I'm sure having extra playstyles will help. Maybe some of them will be more capable. But the main guy that's in the game right now, he definitely doesn't feel like he can deal with all that shit. He is just incapable of dealing with spiders and eggs shooting like a bunch of projectiles at him all at once. Anyway, let's see. It's the 8th, so let me see. When does New Genesis launch? Let's see if I can find out. My neighbor said she'd give me a day off, so I might try to get the 9th off so I can play. It's the end of an era tomorrow. The literal end of an era. PSO2 Vanilla is going into permanent maintenance mode. And I've been playing that game since the beginning, so it does make me a little bit emotional. That game got me through some really rough times. A number of really rough times in my life. The game was always there. I'm glad that they're keeping it up. Normally they just kill the old game. Whenever a new PSO game comes out, they just kill the other one. They just take it out back and shoot it. I'm glad that they're keeping it up, but it's basically not going to get any more updates. It's kind of bittersweet, but I don't think they have the largest development team working on these games, so I can see why they don't want to bother supporting it. I feel the worst for the people that played the global version and they put time and money into it, and there never really was a point to vanilla PSO2. Global. The only reason they put it out was so they could do New Genesis worldwide. I feel it's really unfair to the people who played Global. Basically just not telling them that was a plan all along. But they burnt through all the content so fast. They did keep their promise with that, but I felt like it came at a cost. The game was like not worth playing at all. You can't go through 8 years of content in 1 year without there being some kind of compromises. Okay, so it's going to be from... I guess it's already in maintenance. Yeah, the 7th at 4 to Wednesday at 1. So, pretty much exactly 24 hours from now. Well, I won't need the day off then. I'm probably just going to try to get some sleep. And, I'll try to get up for that. I don't know if it's going to be like standard MMO shit where the game's like unplayable for a day. That's kind of why I was like, I didn't want to ask for the day off, because usually asking for the day off to play an online service game is just... You're better off just going to work and making the money. That's how it's always been. Trying to get the day off for like an online game, it's like, yeah, you might as well just go into work. You have a very low chance of actually being able to play the game. I wouldn't be surprised if this was different, but just from growing up with a mom who played a lot of online games, still does, you gotta learn to not really expect to be on at launch. Be lucky if it works at all.
SPD, Cat Ranger.
1, fight! Back off! Crimson Hawk Ranger! Show me your strength!
There's not going to be another video up today, by the way, outside of my kitty sitting stream. The next few days, I'm going to have like 3 different games I'm going to be playing, so I hope you guys will understand. I'm only human.
help you.
That's why I've been playing random stuff this week. So I knew this was going to be a really hard week to run the channel. Yeah. Keep missing. Gonna play this in a couple days. Yeah.
Come on. Show me your... Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger! Incinerate Wolf Spirit! Dodge! Megazord ready! Tatsumaki Serpuka! Honto! Hadouken! I'm not finished
Pinnacle of Combat's going to be Thursday at 9:30. Oh, I have to get ready for that. I need to set up BlueStacks. I'll see how it runs on the phone, but it's probably going to be like Punishing Grey Raven, where I can play for like 20 minutes. And then the CPU throttles because of the heat.
This is it. Back off. It's forfeit time!
Peter likes to snap a lot. They intelligently snap too, which is crazy. We'll go for your assist character. Or if you try to tag out point, we'll bring your point back in.
Megazord ready!
I framed through that shit.
Three, two, one. Jungle Beast, Spirit Unleashed!
Dropping everything.
Spirit Rush! Now it's my turn. Zatrumatizer Bukak! Honto! Honto
Time for action.
Megazord, ready! Show me your strength!
I love this so much more than Strive. This game just plays to my strengths and Strive doesn't, I guess. I've always been good at, like, degenerate fighting games like this. Games where you have a lot of improv and things like that. Generally the fighting games I'm the best at. I wasn't bad at Marvel Infinite either. This game is basically Marvel Infinite, but better. This game actually had post-launch support. Marvel Infinite did not. That was the only reason I stopped playing that game. Ah, fuck.
Time for some extra willpower! Incinerate Wolf! Spirit Rush! One.
You and your weapons are no match for me.
I can't land links tonight. I don't know if it was, that was not a smart snap. He should have killed.
Power protect you all.
Yeah, that was a bad decision on the computer's part.
Honto! name of power protect you all. Natsumaki Seppuku! Honto! Hadouken! Shin Shoryuken! Shinku Hadouken!
Three, two, one, fight!
Oh yeah!
This is it. Shoryuken! Natsumaki Seppuku! Natsumaki Seppuku!
If I may.
Honto! Hadouken! Shin Shoryuken! I'm not finished yet. Out of my way!
Nice trade. Fuck. Raw super on incoming. Really weird choice.
Crimson Hawk Ranger! Powered up! It's morphin' time! Honto! Hadouken! Honto! Hadouken! Shin Shoryuken!
Victory is final!
Out of my way! Die! Die!
I think that's gonna do it for tonight. I just felt like streaming. I haven't been streaming at home that much, but that's obviously going to change the next few days. I can't play New Genesis or Ninja Gaiden over at my other job. Supposedly supposed to get the Ninja Gaiden key today. That's what I heard anyway. Either way, I probably will just buy it myself if they don't give it to me, but I'm partnered with them, so I'm sure I'll probably get it to me in the afternoon. I don't know if there's going to be like an embargo or anything. I'm not that great at those games anyway, so I think for the content for that's going to be pretty relaxed. It's mostly just going to be I'll review the ports. I might grab the Switch version because I have like pretty much all the other good character action games on there. I might just pay for that and then use the key for PC. Pretty much just going to do PC ports and then mods. Although mods for Neo 2 never really took off, so I don't know how much people are going to do with it. Best thing that's happened with Neo 2 has been the equipment editor, and then the fact that there's like a cheat engine table that lets you map all the moves, have all the moves on at once instead of having to choose. I haven't really had time to mess around with that, but that's pretty much all useful that's come out. Mods for Neo 2, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping there would be more. But, I mean, for gameplay, the fact that you can have all the moves mapped is actually really huge when you think about it. So there's definitely some weapons in Neo 2 that have like 3 good moves mapped to one move slot, and you're always just going to choose the one that's the best. Now, I'll have to mess around with that at some point. I'm not going to have time to do it this week, obviously, but hopefully there'll be more. There's a mod to let you play as the Hayabusa boss. Really? Can you link that to me? Send that to me. I'll have some time to mess around with that today. I might install both of those mods. Yeah, for review keys this month has been it's been a very productive month. I got Blade Assault and Strive for keys, and then supposedly I'm getting Ninja Gaiden today as well. So only games I'd have to pay out of my pocket this month is going to be Scarlet Nexus, which I'm not sure. I should probably try the demo first, and then Samurai Warriors, which I'm on the fence about for a number of reasons. First is the price. Second is the amount of Japanese it has. There's like way more reading in that game from what I've seen. It's nothing I couldn't get past, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Because by the time that it comes out, it's going to be really close to when Koei would probably give me the key anyway. I don't know if it's worth it. It actually would be about a 2-week difference. Alright, well that's going to do it for tonight. Today I've got a couple things to do. I'm supposed to get paid for my neighbor, so I might grab the Switch version of Ninja Gaiden with that, so I can do a port for it. And then I have work. I might go to the game center. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like it. It might be better to just stay home because 1 a.m. is gonna be New Genesis, but I have my doubts it's going to work. Just from my experiences playing service games at launch and then growing up with a mom who did it too. Mom is a very hardcore tab target MMO gamer. And you can definitely learn that you don't expect to play those games at launch. We'll see though. I mean, the beta ran fine. But the beta was also through the shitty Microsoft store and it like barely worked. There's going to be a lot more people logging in. I did run the benchmark. I found out if I run it at 1080p, I can actually run it above 60 FPS pretty much all the time. I did the benchmark, so hopefully the full release will be even better optimized. I'll catch you guys later.